Hey guys, today I'd like to talk about the secret level select menu in Super Mario 64, only accessible using cheats. Something that's always seemed strange about this menu are the 7 blank levels that we can't access. Unlike the finished levels in the menu, these have no name and only display a number representing the level ID. Normally, selecting any of these levels would just take you back to the title screen, so how much can we actually figure out about these mystery stages? It's quite possible that these were all real levels earlier in development, and some elements of these levels may even be left over in the game. From the level select menu alone, we can learn a few things. The first 3 levels made for Super Mario 64 have all been excluded from the final product, with Haunted House, labelled as Charissa Obake internally, being the first legitimate stage in Super Mario 64. It's probably safe to assume these levels are listed in chronological order from when they were created, for reasons I'll soon explain. Given this, we can probably assume these 3 levels were very early test maps used for experimenting with different features of the game, like many other Nintendo 64 games have. Unlike these other games, the developers of Super Mario 64 appear to have completely removed the test levels. This is likely due to the increased pressure at the time to reduce the ROM size, as including a larger ROM on the cartridges was significantly more expensive. Anyway, what first comes to mind is this early footage of Super Mario 64 showing what looks like a test map of some kind. The emptiness of this area implies that it wasn't intended for any kind of serious level like Bomb Bomb Battlefield or Womp's Fortress, for example. After these first 3, the rest of the menu items are all finished Super Mario 64 levels until toward the end of the list. We eventually get to level 32, which is surrounded by the first, second and third Bowser fights. So far there's not much we know about this level, other than that it was probably associated with Bowser in some way. The Beta Bowser battle in Super Mario 64 DS comes to mind, but this was only in the DS remake and shouldn't be present in the original N64 version. Luckily, the level select menu gives us one more clue, the missing EXT5 stage. This level menu uses EXT followed by a number to denote side levels in the game, meaning stages like the Secret Aquarium, or Cap Switches or the Bowser courses, all the minor levels. The EXT stages aren't in any particular order, but since this unused level comes directly after EXT8, we can probably say that it's the missing EXT5 level. That said, it's quite possible one of the Bowser levels originally consisted of 2 levels back to back. This would especially make sense for a level intended to be difficult, like the third Bowser course. Next, we have level 35, which comes in between the third Bowser fight and Tall Tall Mountain. Again, there's not much we can deduce here, but one thing worth noting is that Tall Tall Mountain seems out of place. Instead of coming before Tall Tall Mountain Slide, it is right at the end of the list, suggesting it was made quite late in development. This can probably be explained though by the early footage of Super Mario 64 in public demos. We can see that Tall Tall Mountain Slide was actually one of the first few levels they made, and was originally the slide for Cool Cool Mountain. This suggests that they made a somewhat last-minute decision to swap the slide for a more ice-themed one, and rather than discarding this level, they created Tall Tall Mountain to accompany it. The last 2 levels in the menu are unused, 37 and 38. But why end at 38? This is a completely arbitrary number and doesn't follow any particular numbering conventions, like hexadecimal or base 10. It seems to suggest that every level ID in the menu was deliberately added for a specific level to be included there. Otherwise, there is no logical reason to end at 38 instead of Tall Tall Mountain, the last level in the list. Now, you might think that there's nothing more we can learn about these 7 mysteriously excluded levels, but luckily you'd be wrong. Although there's nothing we can do to recover these levels, we can still look at all the leftover data scattered through the game to learn some more about them. The first thing we can do is trick the game into loading these levels by using a different level model and script. This way we can see some of the more specific traits of these removed levels. All 7 of these levels show the score menu when you pause, so we know none of these levels had collectible stars set up properly. None of the levels stand out from each other using this technique, except for level 32, which has a very strong echo effect. Remember how we thought level 32 might be a Bowser course? Well, this theory can be reinforced further now, since the original Bowser levels also had an echo. Alternatively, of course, this could also be a cave level like Hazy Maze Cave, which also has an echo. Now, we might seem to be at another dead end in our research, but as a matter of fact, we can still dig deeper. As luck would have it, parts of the game code still reference these lost levels in various ways, which is what we'll get into next. First off, we're able to look at the internal level ID. This is the reference number used to tie levels like the Bowser fight and the level before it together. Unfortunately though, these numbers don't give us much new information. We can only confirm that the unused levels use the same ID as the hub areas. I also figured out something unique about level 38. It contains hard-coded data used to change the music partway through the level. This produces the same effect as Jolly Roger Bay when you dive into the water and the drum track starts up. Using the same trick to load level 38 with a different level model, we can hear what this would sound like with a different music track. Looking back at the level select screen again, we can learn something interesting by looking into the code behind this screen. Here's a list of internal level names used for the menu. We can clearly see that Nintendo left room for 64 levels rather than the 38 we've seen. Unfortunately, this is everything I've managed to dig up from the ROM for now, but I hope this has been a very interesting subject to explore for everyone. So then, what kinds of worlds do you guys think levels 1, 2, 3, 32, 35, 37 and 38 might have been? Please share your ideas down in the comments. Blah 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 blah, please subscribe and see you next time!